What I've come to realize is that nurses are at the cutting edge. Healthcare professionals are at the cutting edge, especially in today's world, where what we see happening more recently is that big tech companies are laying off staff. Why? Because AI, artificial intelligence, is beginning to do things that humans would do and do it even better and faster. But in healthcare, we cannot solely leave it to the AI. We cannot solely leave it to machine learning for them to make decisions about a patient health. There has to be a second check. There has to be another confirmation, right? We have seen how artificial intelligence is helping the diagnostic team to make quicker decisions about their diagnostic investigation. Yes, which is great, but you would not see that they would completely be the one, like the AI tools would be the one that will make the final decision and they own the decision. There has to be any human eyes in it. The humans why laying off healthcare staff as a result of the tools that will be embedded in terms of like AI tools, wearables, self-care tools, and all of those things that we're seeing coming to life would not be as drastic as the tech companies. It is no longer about just having just a RN certification or just a BSc certification in nursing science. It has gone beyond that, to be honest. What we are seeing now is that there must be an add-on skills, competencies, certifications that you want to obtain. Hi, welcome once again to my YouTube channel, Nurse Elevate, where I talk about how nurses and healthcare professionals can reach the top of their career, but can thrive, can become all that they want to be in their nursing profession or within the healthcare system. So previously, I talked about the thriving specialties that we see coming up or evolving as the world is shifting and tilting towards the digital space and allowing the digital tools to help, support and enhance care. So today I want to share with us how then, or what do I need to do to be able to position myself to get into those, to get opportunities within those evolving specialties. I made mention about things like we are seeing health business analyst, we are seeing digital health project manager, we are seeing things like data analyst officer, clinical safety officers. We're seeing roles like chief information officer, chief nursing integrated specialist. These were roles that 3 years ago, 4 years ago, or 5 years ago were never in existence, but now coming to life. So me as a nurse or an healthcare professional, how then do I position myself to be able to be, qualified or shortlisted when applied or when opportunity like this come into play, right? So this is what I'm going to be sharing with us as part of what I have seen people that have moved from bedside to such roles, and or people that have just transitioned from a particular role to that particular involving roles. What exactly have they done, right? I am currently in that space as well, where I'm trying to transition into that space, and I have been having conversation with people that are already in the space to share with me what has been the game changer for them, which I'm going to share with us today. Now, like I said in my previous YouTube video, that it is no longer about just having just a RN certification or just a BSc certification in nursing science. It has gone beyond that, to be honest. What we are seeing now is that there must be an add-on skills, competencies, certifications that you want to obtain. Now, I will give you an example. For someone who is thinking of wanting to go into things like maybe a telenurse, right? Some of the things you want to start thinking that you should enroll for would be maybe how to use EHR, which is electronic health record, right? EMR, how to, courses like the virtual medical assistant courses, the EPA courses for mainly people that, want to remain compliant and within their roles as a teleconsultant, nurse. Do you see? So things like these are some of the certification that you must add on onto your RN and RM. And you see, what I've come to realize is that nurses are at the cutting edge. Healthcare professionals are at the cutting edge, especially in today's world, where what we see happening more recently is that the big tech companies are laying off staff. Why? Because AI, artificial intelligence, is beginning to do things that humans would do and do it even better and faster. But in healthcare, we cannot solely leave it to the AI. We cannot solely leave it to machine learning, deep learning, LLMs. We can't leave it to those tools for them to make decisions about a patient's health. There has to be a second check. There has to be another confirmation, right? We have seen how artificial intelligence is helping the diagnostic team to make quicker decisions about a diagnostic investigation. Yes, which is great, but you would not see that they would completely be the one, like the tools, the AI tools would be the one that will make the final decision and the only decision. There has to be a human eye into it. The human factor, the human role must be played. Hence why laying off healthcare staff as a result of the tools that will be embedded in terms of like AI tools, wearables, self-care tools, and all of those things that we're seeing coming to life would not be as drastic as the tech companies. Do you see? Hence why, as a healthcare professional, as a nurse, you are in a better space to begin to gain additional certification across all these different things that AI can help us to do, that AI can enhance, that machine learning can help to make it faster and better. Because those that would be laid off are those that don't even know how to use the tools. But those ones that can use the tools will still be needed, because the human part of safety in relation to healthcare can never be replaced by a machine. So now, as nurses, what do I need to do? As an healthcare professional, what are the things I need to do? I'll give you a list of things that you should start thinking of. Now, first of all, the first tip is to really even ask yourself, which of this area would I function better in? Someone like me, I would say I would rather want to be a digital health educator, because right from time and currently I enjoy teaching. I'm into teaching, I'm into training, do you see? And I do it so passionately well, because it just gives me joy. So if you ask me, where exactly would I really want to function if I'm to transition into a digital enabled role, I would tell you to be probably an AI trainer for nurses. I would tell you to be a digital health educator or a lecturer within the digital health, courses, right? But beyond that, I know that I can still function in other areas, which is why I am currently gaining different certification to ensure that whichever opportunities, is brought my way, I am prepared and I have what it takes to be shortlisted or to get into that space. Now, what do I need to do as nurses, or what have I seen people that has transitioned into this role done? I will tell you. So the first thing is to even identify what particular competencies do I need for a particular role within the digital health opportunities, right? So if you have someone who wants to become a nurse data analyst, right? You know that you should have a certification either in data science or data analysis, right? So for instance, if peradventure you can't go into the master program, you can start researching what short courses can I enroll for, in terms of if I'm looking at becoming a data analyst officer within the healthcare system, what sort of courses do I need to enroll for? Can I go to Udemy? Can I go to Coursera? Because these are also certification that you can gain. And even within the NHS, right? The NHS, for those of you in the UK, the NHS has a big education platform that a varieties of them. So we have NHS Futures, we have the NHS Health Education England platform as well. I've seen one as well, the Skill Development Networks, that's regional, right? I currently enroll for a course there called the AI and ML role in healthcare. You see, these you want to make your research on to even identify the course, and after that So after identifying which particular role you want to really transition into within these digital enabled roles in the healthcare system, the question is, what certification do I need? What skills do I need? What competency do I need? Do you see? And then look out for it, where you can find them and enroll for them. Now, when it comes to becoming a clinical safety officer, especially within United Kingdom, there is a particular course that you have to do. It's called the Digital Clinical Practitioner course. Now, there is a e-learning free for NHS staff. However, there is also part 2 of it, where you go through 3 hours learning, either physical or online, that is available also to the NHS staff and to the outside of people outside of NHS, right? But it's just that the prices are different, the prices differs. But this particular competencies is one that the recruiters look out for if you want to apply for that particular role. Do you see? So there are competencies specific to roles that you must open your eyes to see, to find out, to identify what exactly do I need to go into this particular role. Now, how did I find out about this? Some of the things I had to start doing is to go on LinkedIn and identify people that has transitioned into that role and engage them, in conversation like, how did you do it? What did you do? What courses did you enroll for? And they will tell you. Another ways I was able to identify this is I usually would go for conferences, any digital health related conferences. You want to find yourself there within your locality. Make sure you attend, because there you will get information on what is obtainable, where you can obtain them. You get networked with companies that are open to even taking you if you have those competencies and qualifications. So you're building your network as well. You're building your connections ability and capacity to be able to gain access either into the role, either into mentorship, because you can find someone who has worked the journey and you can really speak to them and say, can you support me in this role? I remember I met one of a guy that recently, just a few months ago, transitioned from being a virtual ward to a digital nurse, and one thing about this role, it gives you time to it's flexible. You can work as hybrid, you can do complete remote, so it's a very good work-life harmony, let's put it that way, especially for healthcare professionals, because nowadays we see a lot of nurses burnt out, right? So I met the guy and he told me, gave me some of the instances of what you can say during the course of the interview. So you see, you can't sit down and not network with people that have walked the journey or that have gone ahead of you. So if I'm to put it into a complete a package for you in terms of what you should do on a step-by-step basis, I'll tell you one first to identify which of the digital health role you want to go into, what skills and competency is obtainable, attend conferences, network with people that have gone ahead, ask them what specific competencies or skills or certifications you must gain, and ask them to help you prepare you for interviews, right? Network with companies, health tech company within the conferences, within the whether as far as showroom where people come, in terms of exhibition, you can speak to them, ask them questions. When are they enrolled and when are they offering any vacancies again, right? You can also ask them all those things, and you can identify mentors. You can identify associations within those roles that you can become a member, whether it's free membership or paid membership, right? And then with all of this put together, optimize your LinkedIn as well. Reach out to people on LinkedIn, connect with people that have that are already doing that particular role, that are already working in that particular role that you want to envision or you want to be a part of. And putting all this together will surely definitely help you to scale and to transition into those digital enabled roles. And I hope this has been helpful, and I will see you again. In the meantime, what are you waiting for? If you're finding value in this, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, press the subscribe button, share with people within that you feel would benefit from this, and please tell me in the comment section what particular area would you like me to share more light on, to tell you about, and to enlighten you and educate you on within your journey as a nurse or an healthcare professional. And I'll be more than happy to research and bring life into the YouTube channel. Thank you very much.